Hello, here is your vocab for 6th grade general music. I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Higgins, our custodian, who is my cameraman today because he's awesome during this quarantine. We're going to go over 4 vocabulary words. These are called a working vocabulary. That means that's words you need to know to describe things. You can need this for working in this class. So these words are pitch, tempo, dynamics, and this weird word down here looks like timbre is pronounced tambor or timbre if you're like really fancy or something. That's how I used to say it, and Mrs. Johnson used to laugh at me. So, pitch. Pitch isn't pitch. Pitch is how high or how low a note is. Sometimes it's referring to the sound of an instrument, like a piccolo is a high-pitched instrument, or a tuba is a low-pitched instrument. But pitch is also, it's the note's relation to the musical scale. So as it goes up the lines, it goes higher in pitch. As it goes down the lines and spaces, it gets lower in pitch. So, how high or how low a note is. Tempo, if we relate it to the same way as pitch, if pitch is how high or how low, tempo is how fast or how slow. It has to do with sometimes the speed of the whole song, sometimes it's just the speed of one instrument. So, pitch, tempo, how high, how low, how fast, how slow. Dynamics is how loud or how soft. Now, it's not quite the same as volume. Volume is when you turn up the stereo. You turn it up. So it's about what you're doing. Dynamics is the volume at which the person is performing. So, it might be if you're singing really soft, or if you're singing really loud. It might be that the drums are loud, the voice is soft. It's not from the perspective of the listener, but from the perspective of the performer. Now, the last one, timbre, isn't quite like that because it's more artistic, it's more out there thinking. Timbre is tone color or tone quality. So it's the way that, let's just write that part down first. Tone color or tone quality. Now, everybody has a different timbre to their voice. So people can normally tell my voice because I have kind of a bright nasally voice and it's really pointy. So when I laugh, it's like, and it's really annoying and I sound like a witch. And so people can normally tell that by the timbre of my voice. But if I talked like this is me adjusting my own timbre, I can do that. But if Mrs. Carpentino gets on the microphone or Mr. Trottier, you can tell the difference in them in many different ways. Their timbre, men's voices versus women's voices, sharp, breathy, scratchy. There's so many different things. Each different instrument has its own timbre. So a trumpet and a violin and a flute can all play the same notes, but they all sound different because of the way the sound is made. So while each instrument has its own intrinsic timbre, a guitar sounds like a guitar, a violin sounds like a violin, each artist has the ability to manipulate that to create their own individual timbre. So that's kind of all the different levels of that. That's why it's not so either or. So pitch, tempo, dynamics, timbre. These are things that you're going to kind of need to think about when you're listening to the songs that we provide. And you can refer back to these words when you write your descriptions of the music. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, give me a shout out.